What's up to Lion Talk Live? We love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew? This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, it's Sunday. It's the day before the Lions play on Monday Night Football, for the final time of this year. Final opportunity for the Lions to have a road game, unless we do not secure the number one seed in the NFC. Then we might have a few more. But I'm thinking, probably like most of you guys, Lions going to lock up the number one seed in the NFC North, number one seed in the NFC overall, and go on from there. Make sure everybody's got to go through Ford Field if you want to get to the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about playoff scenarios, seeding, everything in between. We're going to be talking about a little bit of stuff that is going to affect the Detroit Lions later today. And that, yes, would be the Minnesota Vikings versus Green Bay Packers. Hey, there are, 7 days left in the NFL regular season. 7 days from now, when next Sunday is come and gone and is donezo, you know what? We're going to know what's the fate of the Detroit Lions for the postseason. And a lot of teams are still scoreboard watching, trying to figure out if they're in, out, or where they may be. So we're going to dive into all that and have a little fun with some of those things today. All right, real quick, before we get into 5 headlines now and the main topic of the day, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Making that march for 12,300 subs, and we are, survey says, we'll just say 70 subs away from it. So if you can help out with that, that'd be great. Also, if you have a half second of time, it is free of charge. Reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button, hit all the buttons, hit the button on top of the button, next to the button, and left of the button. Hit all of them and help us on out. Last but not least, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, let alone the continental United States, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. You now see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. Let's have a conversation what we can do to save you some time, save you some money, buy that commercial property, that new business that, hey, your dream business you want to open up, that restaurant, whatever it might be. Give me a call or shoot me a text. If you're looking for a new house for you and the fam, or maybe a weekend getaway location, a cabin out in the woods, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text, and we'll have a conversation, see what we can do to save you some time, save you some money, save me some effort. All right, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get this show rolling and going and get it started with 5 headlines now. All right, 5 headlines down on a Sunday, easy like Sunday morning. Let's see what they have to say. Jameis Williams fined for his taunting penalty versus the Chicago Bears. USA Today, story by Jeff Risden. Why he was fined, I would love to hear what the NFL has to say about it. Talk about something about nothing. I didn't think there was anything on that penalty. I even thought there was less on regarding why he would have been fined, but maybe there's something that was said that the officials heard that we're not privy to. Either way, Jameson Williams was fined $11,255 for his unsportsmanlike contact penalty in the game where he, quote, spun the ball towards the direction of a Bears defender. It was also, if you look at the video, in the direction of the nearest NFL official. So if I'm Jameson Williams, will I appeal it? I don't know, but probably just moving on considering the time of the year. And while, hey, $11,000 would be something to me, it may not be to Jameson Williams, so he may just say, hey, take the tip. We all get it. Jameson Williams and Tyreek Stevenson of the Chicago Bears have a little bit of a rivalry. I'm sure Jameson Williams probably looks at that long touchdown catch he had against the Chicago Bears in that game and just said, you know what, hey, we're good here. I won this particular battle. He's probably moving on, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, moving on from that one. Teddy Bridgewater idolizes Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn. SI.com, story by John Macaron. As you guys know, John's covered the Lions for a long time for SI amongst other publications, and he's spot on with this story. Teddy Bridgewater came out and said, hey, if he was coming out of retirement, it was the Lions or bust. He wasn't going to play for another team, didn't want to play for another team. In this particular story, he does detail his thoughts on Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn, the strong relationship, amount of respect he has for both of them. And to be fair, for the Lions organization, let that sink in. More and more people, it's going to be harder and harder for you to find anybody who can easily remember the Lions being so horrible that nobody came here, nobody wanted to play here unless it was just for a paycheck, ending a career, whatever. The last few years, we all get it. Everybody wants to be a Detroit Lion. They love the culture. They love what's happening here. They love the city. They love the weather, the whole shebang-a-bang. And yes, the winners here aren't what they once were, so I'm guessing that probably also helps up with things. But Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn have helped establish a certain rite of passage here, a certain identity for the franchise. Teddy Bridgewater is not the only NFL free agent or player out there that says, hey, Detroit, that would be a place I'd like to play. And yes, he came out of retirement to try to help us get to the promised land. All right, NFL news. Dan Campbell sends emotional message about Lions before game against 49ers. Biloff, if I'm saying that correctly, story by Miguel Angel Fernandez Castillo. And I just thought it was a good story when you talk about Dan Campbell. He gives a lot of real coach speak. And if you guys watched any of the press conference the other day, hey, you heard him talk about all this. The Lions want this game for a number of reasons. One, it's the next team up. And that's some real coach speak there. You're not worried about it, hey, being a rivalry or a get revenge game or whatever. You're just playing it because it's next game up. Let's also be honest. These guys are human. They do remember what happened, months ago at the NFC Championship game. They nearly got to the Super Bowl. We all remember that, and the heartfelt pain that came when the Lions walked off the field and let victory get away from them. With that being said, yes, it's the next game up, but it's also the next game up. You're going back to the scene of the crime. You're taking on the 49ers. You have an opportunity to get your 14th win. If Green Bay wins today, then you know what? You can wrap up all sorts of stuff in the playoffs. So this game is going to have a lot of meaningful moments and opportunities for the team. I'm guessing just from a human psyche standpoint, the guys want to go out there and beat down the 49ers for a bit of a revenge. We can all say otherwise. Hey, there's no such thing as revenge. I just say, well, you're not as human as me then, because if it was me as a player, as a coach, we're going to do everything we can to get a win. That also being said, I also don't think the 49ers are going to be a pushover. They have a very good defense still. They still got some weapons on offense. Some of those weapons began reemerging last week. And let's also be fair to the 49ers. I'm sure they would love to have the opportunity to say, hey, we beat down one of the best teams in the NFL. We kept you from getting the number one seed or whatever the situation may be. We all get it. Even if the Lions lose this week, they can still control their own fate next week. But, hey, I'd take the win if I can and move on from there. All right, Detroit Lions have glowing practice attendance with just injured running back missing. MLive.com, Ben Raven, Mr. Raven, nevermore with that one. And, yeah. We all get it. There's some guys on the IR that aren't coming back this year. Okay, you got to move on from them. In regards to everybody else on the team, though, you know what? We're right as rain right now. Everybody is healthy other than David Montgomery. Montgomery, still no clear decision. So the longer the David Montgomery situation goes on, I'm assuming he's not going on IR. I'm assuming the Lions and him, plus his medical staff, have said, hey, he's going to be able to return. It's just a question of when. Yes, from the standpoint of getting that first round bye, if the Lions could secure the number one seed this week, think about it. You've got a half a month. If you really want to rest people, you could. I wouldn't advise resting them for a half a month just because rust would come in to play, at least in my opinion. That's why I really think even if the Minnesota Vikings game doesn't matter a ton, the Lions, in my opinion, are still going to play their starters at least half the game. Why is that, man? It doesn't take long, in my opinion, for rust in any sport to set in. 5, 6 days, 7 days without playing. You get outside of your normal routine. That's where me as a coach, things start getting changed, start altering. now you're going to face a team in the playoffs if you get the first round bye that did play the week before. They're still on their normal routine, and it may only take a drive or 2 or 3 in the game to get back to where you were. But you know what? How much can a game change in the playoffs in a 1, 2, or 3 drives? The fact that the Lions are getting healthy, they're starting to mix some parts in. We all saw Iffy Melifonwu last week. He looked good in some ways. He looked rusty in other ways. Hopefully, he looks a lot less rusty by the end of tomorrow night's game. And he won't be the only one. You're going to see Jalen Reeves-Maybin probably get activated. Alex Anzalone probably going to start that 21-day window here pretty quick and get out there. Could there be other people? Sure. But the idea is get them out there, get them healthy, get them on the field, get that rust away, and keep this team rolling towards the Super Bowl. All right, last of the 5 headlines now, a little different here. We're going to do some predictions from the Detroit Lions at San Francisco 49ers from the Detroit Free Press or News, Let me pull that up unless I knocked it down, which I did not. So, all right. From the Detroit News, Nolan Blanchie, he thinks, hey, the Lions are out on revenge, and I think most of us watching would agree. He thinks they're coming in with a chip on their shoulder. It would have been nice to have Carlton Davis III out there, but we all get it. That's not going to happen. 49ers have got 16 guys on the IR, so it's not quite Detroit's whatever it is, 300, but it's quite a few neither way. He's got Lions winning 31-17. We'll go with that. John Nino, let's see. Hey, Lions offseason tremors weren't a false alarm as the 49ers season was doomed from the start. Now they're officially eliminated from the playoff contention, and it's anybody's guess how they'll react on Monday night. And the only thing I would say, to go with what John's saying, if I'm Detroit, I'm doing everything I can to make sure I've got a 14, 17, 21-point lead at halftime, because I think if you do that, the 49ers, the players that are out there, they're just, at that point, they're just thinking about the postseason. They're thinking about, the offseason, etc. They're moving on from this particular game. He's got the Lions winning 31-21. Richard Sylvia kind of reiterates what everybody else says. He thinks it's going to be a little bit better showing for the 49ers. 49ers, we all get it. They're already eliminated, but he does think you've got some guys trying to play for an opportunity to remain with the team this offseason. That's going to be a huge motivating factor for a lot of people. Do I get to stay here, or are they going to cut me? Are they going to draft a replacement and move on for me? Are they going to try to dump some salary? We all get it. Brock Purdy wants to get paid this offseason. 49ers are going to have to make some difficult choices. Either way, he's got the Lions winning 34-24. And then Bob Wojnarowski has the Lions winning 31-20. I'm not going to get into what all of his thoughts are. Let's just face it. Hey, everybody in Detroit is thinking the Lions are going to win, and I agree with them. I think the Lions are going to go out there and handle business. They're going to have a business-like mentality and move on into the promised land that is the postseason. All right, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get over to the main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the day. Who are you choosing to root for today? Are you rooting for Green Bay, or are you rooting against Minnesota? Either can be true. Both can be true. I'll let you go with that. 36 hours from now, we're going to know what happened with that game, and also the results of the Detroit Lions versus San Francisco 49ers game. There's a whole lot on the line here. We all get it. You've already know about it. Hey, Minnesota loses, Detroit wins. We get a lot of stuff going our way and in our favor. Is that what you want? Do you want that out there? Some of you guys have suggested this week we don't want to play at home because our 2 losses this year are at home. There are others that have suggested we don't want to win. We want to be the number 5 seed because you're going to have an easy first-round bye. The only thing I can say to that is why I understand some of the logic behind it. I'd also say this. It will be impossible for you to lose in the first round of the playoffs if you have the first round bye because you don't have to play in it. Real quick, let's pull this up on the screen. Give me a second to get this up here. We'll go through the playoff scenarios before diving into all the different aspects of things. All right, got that there. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger for you guys. I'm working here. I'm trying. All right, that's as good as it's going to be, I guess. So, let me get this other comment off the screen there. All right, let's go through the playoff scenarios. We're just going to focus on the NFC, not really worried about the AFC just because we don't worry about any of them into the Super Bowl. As we all get it right now, Lions are number 1, Eagles number 2, Vikings number 5, Packers number 6. Now, from there, Rams could be, and they currently are, the number 3, Falcons number 4, Washington Commanders number 7. You got Seahawks and Buccaneers at 8 and 9. There's a whole lot of stuff that can be shaken and baking all around here, moving around. But if you're the Detroit Lions, whoever at the number 5 seed, I get it. The Atlanta Falcons, that looks like a pretty favorable matchup for anybody. Me as a coach, I hate first round buys. I don't care what sport it's in. That's just me. I would not be overly upset if that happened for the Detroit Lions, but I also think given all the injuries that we've had this year, first round bye would be awesome. Plus, for the city of Detroit, having those playoff games would bring in a lot of financial boon here. The players, hey, you get a little extra rest, you get a rest in your own bed. There's a lot of those aspects that come into play. As far as who's going to finish where, well, let's start with the Vikings and the Packers. If I'm the Packers, do I want to face Atlanta first, or do I want to face, potentially somebody else, the Rams or whoever? I'm going to guess either the Vikings or Packers. Whoever gets that number 5 seed, they're going to feel pretty good about facing the Atlanta Falcons on the road for the same reasons we just outlined it for the Detroit Lions. So that would probably move one of those teams into the second round. And would it be against Detroit if Detroit is hosting? That's definitely a possibility. The Rams have come into play. They've won whatever it is, 5 games in a row. They're looking pretty good. They struggled offensively last night. I think the Rams, hey, you got Matt Stafford. I know there's some Lions fans that don't like the guy anymore. I still think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. It's no disrespect to Jared Goff, but Goff and Stafford are very similar in many ways. They do have some differences, but without Stafford on the Rams, I don't think would even be in playoff contention right now. They've got some good young parts, but like every NFL team, it need a quarterback. And whether it was Goff still in LA, I think the Rams would still be in the playoff push. It's just, I'm glad that we've got Jared Goff because I think he's played very well for the Detroit Lions. So when you look at these playoff scenarios, what are you guys thinking? Obviously, if you're a Lions fan, I'm assuming most of us just want us to win the number 1 seed, but I could also understand some of your guys' thoughts this week when you say, hey, the number 5 seed would not be horrible for us. I'm just going to focus on us winning, though. That's just me. Going on to other things with the main topic of the day, Lions, as we were talking about earlier, they're pretty dang healthy right now, minus the guys that are out for the season. And yes, there's some potential. Alex Anzalone comes back next week. If it was me, I'd be getting him out on the field as quick as possible just to try to, again, get the rust off him. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, I do anticipate he'll be active tomorrow. I don't have anything to corroborate it. That's just my personal opinion. But I think that would help the defense out quite a bit. Emmanuel Mosley, I get, is the real wild card. Everybody's guessing what's going on with him. Why haven't we seen him on the field? Well, we've seen him on special teams, just not with the defense. But I do think he adds some stability and depth for this team going into the postseason. Beyond that, man, the defensive front, I know there's a number of you clamoring for the Miami Dolphins to release Calais Campbell and for us to sign him. My only worry with that is, man, how quickly can you get him up to speed here? If it happens this weekend where he gets released and he signs with Detroit, we'll just say, hey, Tuesday or Wednesday, then fine, you've got a game to work him in. I mean, he's played in the NFL, gosh, I don't even know, 14 years or something like that. So do you really think it would take that long to get him up to speed if that's where they decide to go? Probably not. But you'd get him in against the Minnesota Vikings and then the postseason. I'm assuming at his position, his time in the league, his experience, it's probably not going to be a huge hindrance to have him only out there for a game before the postseason. We'll have to wait and see, though. All right, Duke Crew, you've heard me talk about it all. Hey, 7 days from now, where do you want the Lions to be? Some of you, I get, want them to be the number 5 seed. Some of you want them to be the number 1 seed. You've heard my thoughts on it. What are your thoughts on it? What do you think the Lions do tomorrow? If Minnesota wins today, and you're Dan Campbell, do you rest guys to keep them healthy? Or do you say, hey, we're just going to play the first half. Second half, we're going to let you guys rest to try to be as healthy and ready as rested for that Minnesota Viking game. There's a lot of different things in play here, and there's a lot of different scenarios to unfold. We all get it. Green Bay wins today. You know what? Detroit's probably all in it to win it tomorrow night, and I'm sure the NFL is going to love that. The other thing is, I've been told, and a number of you guys reached out and text me this, that the NFL may indeed flex, and it would make sense to me, next weekend's game for the Detroit Lions versus Minnesota Vikings to a later game, especially if it does determine the number 1 seed in the NFC. I get why they would do that from a business standpoint. What are your thoughts? Should they leave it alone or should they flex it? All these things can be handled. If you guys got other questions, go ahead and throw them at me in the Duke Crew comment section, and let's get over to you guys. Let me scroll up to the top of the screen. And sorry if I was a little long-winded on this particular main topic. I just think, man, you talk about all the different scenarios that could go down, all the different coaching decisions that perhaps you want to make. I know and I've already shared this. I know myself, and I would rather play the first round than not. I don't want the rust factor. The other aspect is tomorrow, man. I think I might, if the game doesn't mean anything to us, I probably would try to rest some people the second half. All right, it looks like some of the comments have been cut off, I want to say, but maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, I don't know. Let's just get into it. Hardy, locked in, not started. Okay, fair enough. Detroit D, good morning to you, by the way. If Minnesota wins, next week's game will be flexed into Sunday night or Monday night. Yeah, there we go. And I would hope, just from personal standpoints, that it's not Monday night, just because you're going to take either team and give them one less day to prepare for the playoffs. Now, again, if it's Atlanta, it's no disrespect to Atlanta. I just like as far as being the opposing team, I like their quarterback situation right now. Maybe I end up regretting that, though. Bears are in the basement of the NFC North, and they will be stuck here for a few years. They won't win with Caleb, and he will get the next head coach fired. Woo! Okay, all right, we'll go with that. Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew, exclamation point. It's game day, and we get to watch Green Bay kick off in some Vikings bottom. All right, let's go Lions, 100%. And yes, I got to imagine just about every Lions fan is rooting on Green Bay and the Packers. Hardy, sorry, no worries. Probably something I missed, I'm guessing. Let's see, Rob, greetings and salutations, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Lions are the grooviest, Daddy-O. I like the way you're thinking. Lauren, I missed the Super Bowl being on the last Sunday in January. Every once in a while, it's following my birthday. Well, sorry, it's no longer that way, but happy birthday all the same, my friend. Dave, playoff seeing will be done in a week. Yes, it will be done in a week. Correct. Quentin, let's see, greetings and salutations, Duke Crew. I hope Green Bay and Minnesota Vikings tie, and both quarterbacks roll an ankle. There you go. Yeah, maybe we can do that. Maybe they both get the flu or food poisoning or something like that right before they play the Lions. Detroit D, let me roll them up before the show. Go ahead and roll them on up, 100%. Let's see, Henry Moore, Monday night, while I am Bo Lion, I'll be watching our Lions destroy the 49ers. Oh, yeah, I'll go with that. Yes, I'm hoping we do beat them down pretty bad. Lauren Broski hopped in my comments yesterday, had to delete a comment, tried starting stuff with Hookadoo, had to nip that in the butt. Yeah, but that's, we all know Broski was part of the show for a while, but man, just whatever it was, 4 months ago or something, he just fell and hit his head and never recovered. Let's see, Miles Mark, greetings, salutations, crew and coach. I like your banner today. I'm sure it'd be get a weed for the game. Okay, I'll go with that. Papa Noel, Detroit will want much revenge tomorrow against the San Francisco 49ers team for defeating the Lions in the playoffs. Playoffs to go. Yes, I'm sure the revenge will be on some of the players' minds and the coaches too, to be fair. Both Sunday morning, I'm back here with the Duke Crew. Woo! And back at you. Good to have you here, my friend, as always. Rob rooting for Green Bay to make the Vikings collapse like the Twins. Let's hope so. Rob, again, smash that woo button for Coach Dan the man. Yeah, if you guys can, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, the like button. Thank you very much. Voltron, I think it's Awee as a stunned, shocked Miles Meyer. Yeah, stunned and shocked, 100%. Miles Meyer, good on you. Lauren, got to protect your channel and crew, 100%. That's the hard part with some commenters. I mean, hey, I'd say 99% of all the people on the channel, on the show, or whatever, watch the videos, nice people and everything, but there is the 1% that, I don't know, man, just get into their feelings or something. Lauren, a bowl of Wheaties and ice cold dew is better than Folgers in my cup. Fair enough. To Mr. Nico, last year was a gut-wrenching experience in our NFC Championship loss, but the growth we got from it was worth it. This year, all generational Lions will hopefully get there once in a lifetime. 100%, man, yeah. We go out and get to the Super Bowl. The only people I feel bad for are the people that were on that team a year ago who are no longer with the Detroit Lions, just because obviously there's no revenge factor for them. They don't get back there. JC had to do a double take on the headline thumbnail. I thought it said Lions fans smoked weed for the next 36 hours. Some may indeed. Brent, good morning, Dan and crew. The Lions are not just relevant, they are dominant. Exclamation point. Never thought I'd be able to say that. Go Lions. Oh, yeah, I'll go with all the above. And you're right. They are pretty dang dominant. Miles Margaret, laughing out loud, Voltron Force, OFC, but I prefer the creative interpretation. I'll go with that. Nothing wrong being creative. So my broski is just some fat bored out of his mind 68-year-old guy living in his mom's basement. It could be true. I don't know him personally. Rob, Miles Margaret, it should be odd, but forgot it. He's rolling. Okay. I think it says that, but maybe I'm wrong. Miles Margaret, of course, I don't care if I only have 20 subs, but if he starts scrap, I'll have 19. I'm not building a toxic environment. Yeah, 100%, man. No, nobody wants to deal with that stuff. Miles Margaret laughing out loud. Rob, hey, at least the Bears outperformed the White Sox. That might be true. Might be very true. Lauren, Rob, coach had to get his mind right. Sometimes you got to get right. Clark, J-Mo should have a pretty strong game again, too. San Francisco still has a top 10 defense, so I don't think this game will be as easy as most are calling for. No, I agree. The 49ers are very sound, I think, at least, on a defensive standpoint. Their downside is going to be, Ayuk is gone for the year. Debo has had a down year. Their offensive line, it's been gutted. Let's be honest. Trent Williams is down and out. Let's see who else. They've got a bunch of guys out or on the injured reserve. Running back Christian McCaffrey, he's on the injured reserve. Ayuk, like I said, Jordan Mason, all with injuries. A lot of their offensive line is beat up or even out. Finally, the teams lost to the Dolphins last Sunday. Kyle Shanahan announced that tackle Trent Williams and left guard Aaron Banks, tackle Jalen Moore will be shut down for the remainder of the season, with Williams being placed on the IR. Currently starting running back Isaac, boy, I'm going to kill this last one. Grendo is dealing with a foot and hamstring injury, but is trending in the right direction. Yeah, and I don't know if he's playing tomorrow night or whatever, but we get it. They're beat up. Hey, we're beat up too. The difference is we're beat up and winning. Man Bear, good morning. Dano, Ramo, and the Scooby-Doo crew, back at you. Johnny, I've been away for a while because I've been seriously sick. Hey, sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully you're feeling better. Still, I'm feeling bad, but I have been watching and not noticing some new faces. Yeah, we all get it. If you watch this channel for any length of time, the subs have gone up, and that does bring in new people. So either way, Johnny, I hope you're feeling better, man. Johnny L, and you still talk about Broski Barrow. He does come up in the comment section, don't he? Lauren, feel better soon, Johnny? I'll go with that. Hookadoo, good morning, Duke crew. What's the good word today, Coach Dan? Grit. Hey, just Lions getting ready for the. Hey, let's be honest. This is a big weekend. If Minnesota drops it today, I got to imagine, man, at that point, I got to imagine the Lions come out and they're trying to just dominate that game tomorrow night. It's going to be a great game for the Detroit Lions when that scenario unfolds. Johnny O, the word is a Minnesota loss. I would take that. Big Eddie, greetings and salutations. Hope you're feeling better. Johnny L, I wanted to see if our defense can hold up well against, again this week. Played pretty well against the Bears. Can we do back-to-back? Question mark. That'd be the big thing. The linebacker play, I think, is pretty solid. Man, I was really impressed last week against the Bears with our secondary. And it wasn't perfect by any stretch, but Ife Melifano, let's give him his flowers, give him his roses, whatever the term is. He adds a certain element to it. He also gives them some flexibility to move Brian Branch around. I personally like Brian Branch up top. I would probably have, if it would have been me, I probably would have moved Iffy to the cornerback slot permanently, just because he is 6'3". As long as you can handle that slot corner, get hands on him, it's a bigger person to throw over, especially since the Lions went to more zone coverage last week. And I do suspect we'll see that throughout the playoffs. They'll still mix in some man-to-man, but I think the amount of man-to-man is going to drop while the amount of zone is going to rise. But that's just what I would do. Hookadoo, morning, Miles Margaret, bird time, Lauren, all the above. Brent, hope you're feeling better soon, Johnny L. Praying for you, 100%. Bo, I know the feeling, Johnny L. Stay gritty. Yeah, I got my cold where I lost my voice mostly like a month ago, and I still feel kind of phlegmy. Lions Dog Alive fan, Brad is cooking, Dan is feeding, and the boys are hungry. Yes, they are, man. They all smell the playoffs right around the corner. Lauren Hookadoo, good morning. Back at you both. Johnny L., I'm not worried about any team. Correct. I would say, man, you want to beat Detroit, you got to outscore them. And yes, our defense isn't the same, but I still think you can do enough things with the defense to get a few stops. As long as the offense is cooking, we're going to be right as rain. Rob, Lauren, whatever it takes, 100%. Doug, amazing how many Targeted games will be on. Okay. Tankathon games will be on. Yes. Sorry, I read that wrong. You're not wrong. You're going to have a whole lot of teams facing or fighting for the number 1 seed. I think I briefly saw it this morning while getting ready for the show. That was it. The Giants lose out. They get the number 1 pick, and I didn't realize they were that low this year, but I haven't really paid attention to the NFL draft yet just because it's not really big news for the Detroit Lions for once. Johnny L, thank you guys. 100%, my friend. Miles Margaret, Johnny L, so sorry to hear about your illness, but real glad to see you can make the chat. 100%. Yeah, hopefully you continue to feel better. Trey, what's going on, everyone? So, Coach, who do you think should be our starting D-line this week and heading into the playoffs? I have thoughts. That's a good question, man. I would say if it was me, I guess placing over the left tackle, I would probably put Muhammad. I really like the way he's played. I would put him over the left tackle next to DJ Reader. Oh, boy. I'll probably Levi next to Reader, so over the right guard, and then Zadarius Smith over the right tackle. That's probably what I would do. Whether or not the Lions do that, I don't know. Let's see. Trey, get well, Johnny L, 100%. Brent, great first video, Lauren. I'll have to check it out. I'll do that on my way to the gym today or at the gym. Dominic, good morning from Texas. It's game day! 14-2, Lions win 44-12. I'll take that, my friend. I'll take that big time. Because going into the season, how many of you, raise your hand in the comment section, had the Lions winning 14 or 15 regular season games? I want to say Dan O'Damas had them winning 13, so they've hit the expectations. Now, can they supersede it? Lauren, only reason I'm watching football today, probably, the Minnesota-Green Bay game. Hookadoo, I just hope you start feeling better, Johnny. 100%. Sending some prayers to you, my friend. Lauren, is 1 to see Vikings lose, and 2, the UFL schedule is supposedly to be dropped today. Hey, go check it out. Let us know on your channel when it comes out. JDC, keep on trucking, Johnny L. Darcy, good morning. Duke Crew gang, back at you. Rob, I see the graphic has changed. All right, fair enough. Phil, hit that like, please. Yes, if you can. P for please, maybe. I'll go for that. Let's see. Jess, Goff, and Gibbs are going to have strong games, I think. Vikings going down. There could be some truth to that. I still think, like we've talked about already in the show, the Niners have a good defense. But I do think they struggle intermediate routes. So running backs, tight ends, slot receivers, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think all 3 of them potentially could have some pretty good games. Could Jameson Williams go off again? Yes, because I think it's possible because the 49ers are probably going to have to shift coverages to deal with the first 3 I mentioned. We'll wait and see how it unfolds in the game. Johnny L, you guys are awesome. No, you're awesome. The Duke Crew's awesome. How about that? JDC, Dre Forge rocks, and he rolls. Mike K, hey, Coach, I thought I shattered, but only all right, well, congrats on that. Let's see, Philippines On Demand. Hey, Dan, thanks for all the great shows in 2024. Looking forward to watching you in 2025! Go Lions. Yeah, I'll still do the show even in the off season. For those who don't know, I do the show typically 7 days a week. I don't do it on Christmas. I don't know, but I probably won't do it New Year's Day. Just because I guess we're hanging out with some friends to watch the ball drop or whatever. We'll see how I feel at 6 a.m. in the morning or whatever. But hey, thanks for that, Philippines, by the way. Let's see, Stephanie, good morning, boys! Off to the gym, but I will be listening in. Hit that like button, everyone. Yes, if you guys can, hit the subscribe and like button. Hey, go have fun at the gym, Stephanie. Johnny L. and Rolls, yes, indeed. Bo, Broncos almost tied the Bengals yesterday. It could have happened with Packers and Vikings. It could happen with Packers and Vikings. Wouldn't that be something? And I don't know. Maybe you guys know. If they end in a tie, the Packers and Vikings, what does that do for the playoffs? Because I don't know. If you guys can comment in the comment section, because I got no clue. I haven't looked into that scenario. JDC, tick, 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 100%. Lauren, Rob, good eye. Let's see. Kurt, peace. All right. Philippines, Mike K, come on, man. Those comments are childish. Please not here. Fair enough. Miles Meyer, Hookadoo, morning, bro. There you go. Frank Tank, good morning, Duke Crew, East Side. Woo! Go Lions, back at you, Frank the Tank. Hookadoo, yeah, I thought it was a close game last night. Bo Booth, yeah, there were some not good games yesterday, and then there were some good ones. Johnny L, yeah, what would happen if the Packers and Vikings tied? That I don't know. I don't know how that impacts the Lions. Doug, have there been any ties to the NFL this year? I'm not sure. I don't think so, but again, the Lions didn't have one, so I probably haven't paid the most attention. Roland, what do you got? I seen a meme yesterday. Being a Bears fan is like losing both ways before looking both ways before crossing the road and getting hit by an airplane. Hey, that's probably fairly accurate. Rob, quote, are you ready for some football? I am, my friend. A Monday night party. Kurt Steele, what up, though, Duke Crew? What up, man of Steel? How you doing? Lauren, good morning. Kurt Steele, Doug, anyone, please tell how well Jack Campbell's playing. I would assume most Lions fans, the answer would be yes, Doug. I get there were a lot of people on him last year as a rookie that were down on him, maybe even early this year. But to be fair, he might be one of the top 3 or 4 linebackers in the NFC North. And I do think there's a lot of decent linebackers in the NFC North. I don't know if there's that many elite ones, but I'm not going to say Jack Campbell's elite, but I think he's playing at a pretty high level. Brent, salute Kurt. Good morning, Lauren, says Kurt. Let's see, Detroit D, what up, though, Kurt Steele? Lauren, Jack Campbell equals Jason Voorhees. Might be true. Brent, salute, says Kurt. Bo, the boss of steel. Ooh, there you go. Could be a Superman in the mist. Detroit D, we control our own destiny. Yeah, that was a great quote, I thought, from MCDC. Nobody's writing our story. We control our own fate. Yes, we do. And I 100% agree with that, Detroit D. Kurt Steele, Detroit D, what up, though? Kurt Steele, Bobo, good morning. Burger Time, good morning, brother. Hookadoo, go Lions. Woo! I'll go with all the above. Pat, when are you going to give your predictions on the Lions game? I gave that to the Friday morning show. Dash Render, no matter who they play in the playoffs, it doesn't matter. Parade on Woodward in February. I'm down with that. Yeah, whoever we face, it won't matter. We're going to win the Super Bowl irregardless. Get the parade. I'm down with that, Dash. Wayne, Dan, I love the show. To me, you're the Barry Sanders of Lions YouTubers. You don't brag like just hanging the ball off to the ref. Thank you. No worries, man. I just enjoy doing this stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoy it too. I look forward to doing this every day, man. To me, this isn't a job. This is something I just enjoy doing. Let's see, Bo, and thanks for that, Wayne. Bo, Lions win. Nothing else matters. I'll go with that, 100%. Server, good morning, Coach, and everyone. Same to you. Hopefully it's a great day. Ezra Gray, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Pack take out the Vikings today. Lions wrap up the number 1 seed Monday night. I like the way you're thinking, and good morning to you too, my friend. Pat, any idea why the Lions called up the rookie from the practice squad? Hopefully they put Mosley out in the field this week. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, the corner. The only thing I can say is they just believe he's got some abilities. You're not bringing him up otherwise, especially at this point in the season. Rakestraw is the big question for me. The fact that he hasn't been elevated, maybe it's something more than just a hamstring. Let me clear my throat. Excuse me. So we'll find out in time. Let's see, Rob, leftover lamb chops from Marissa and Lions Talk Live. Life is good. That's not a bad start to anybody's day. Good morning, Kurt Steele. Pat, I think Martin is a bust. They keep calling up Smith instead of playing Martin. You do have to start wondering why that is. But, again, not that one person's trajectory in the NFL matters. But Derek Barnes, I think a lot of people thought he was a bust until year 3. Same with Ife Melifanu. Some guys just take different pathways. I'm really hoping that Martin can kind of get together, but it may be, to your point, Pat, it may be next year before he really makes that, jump. Wayne, I'm trying to want the Packers to win. Oh, Lord, help me. I just threw up in my mouth. Skip the Packers. Yeah, and for those who are struggling doing that, I would just say root against the Minnesota Vikings. You're not rooting for the Packers. You're rooting against the Vikings. Detroit D, I hope the Vikings and Packers tie today. I know everybody keeps mentioning that. I just wonder how that would impact us. I'm assuming, but I don't know. I'm assuming if they both tie, we win tomorrow night, we win the North and everything. That would be my assumption. But again, I can't confirm that. Big Deep morning, my fellow Duke Crew family. Been out a few days, but I'm back in black, hallelujah blue. Well, welcome back, my friend. Good to have you back in the chat, Big D. Kurt, oh no, not a spin. All right, we'll find out. Giovanni, hey, haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you, my friend. Woo! Yeah, I know this typically isn't your time of day. Brent, I can never say go, Pack, go. So I say lose, Vikings, lose. Fair enough. I'll go with that. That's not a bad one. Doug, basically, the fines are to put them in their place. Sounds like they have a personal problem. They probably do. Yeah, and I think there is a budding rivalry there. Rob, hey, he spun it like a Dressel, so they thought he was gambling again. Maybe indeed. Bo Jamo is rolling the bones. Maybe. It could be. True. Kurt, let's see, Philippines. Kurt maybe spun the ball and said it and said sit and spin. Could be he did just that. That I don't know. Lauren, the rest of the NFL won't let us forget that 0-16 season. Who cares, man? It's ancient history at this point, especially by NFL standards. I mean, that's a lifetime ago. That's like, being a Chicago Bears fan and saying, well, we won the Super Bowl in 85. I remember it. I remember all the videos, but you're still going back, man, like, 40 years almost? Taylor Maiden, hey, good to see you as always, my friend. Been a long time. I love the origin that gave me $5 million to bet and a backup too. 100%, I'll go with that. Pat, if Campbell from Miami gets released, do the Lions have to wait in line for a waiver wire? If so, they will have to be like 31 on the wire. So, as best I can find, yes, they would have to wait 24 hours basically for him to clear. But apparently he has told the Miami Herald and other publications, I haven't seen it, but a number of you have brought it up, that if another team was to sign him, or a team who wasn't going to the playoffs, a team he did not desire playing for, he would just retire. So we'll see what shakes out. Rob, I remember when we playing for the Lions, when playing for the Lions was like playing for the pre-84 Blue Jays. Okay. Derek, good morning, Coach and crew. Only PI penalty all year tells me the refs in the NFL have it out for the Lions. No surprise there. Yeah, only one PI penalty. I agree with that. Big D, if Campbell gets released, he will get to choose where he goes. Okay, that could be also true. Big D kind of like Tim Patrick. Good point there. Good point there. Rob, if both Minnesota and Detroit win, one of them will be the first 14-win team in NFL history to lose their division. How about that? Always trying to set new standards in the NFL. Kurt, laughing. Lauren, Rob, we don't want that stat. No, we don't. No, we do not. Silver, Coach, I don't see much of a revenge game for Detroit since it was them who shot themselves in the foot numerous times in the NFC Championship game. I'm assuming that's just how the players will view it, because they want to go out there. Hey, you denied us an opportunity to get the Super Bowl. We want to go out there and beat you guys. Lauren Silver Server, then go out and do better than we did a year ago. Let's hope we do. Brett, NFL will be deciding the Week 18 flex game at halftime of tonight's Sunday night game. Do they flex the Lions? My anticipation is yes, but I also don't know what the other considerations are. Pat, I wonder if Jefferson, the running back, is going to be playing this weekend. What do you think, Coach Dan? Oh, yeah. Probably not, unless somebody else was hurt. If you didn't have him up last week, I don't know why you'd bring him up this week. But again, I don't know the health of maybe all the running backs. Let's see, Miles Barrett. Yeah, Silver, that makes like a show we got right game. Okay, 9 drinks. No Lions today. Gotta wait. We've got to wait until tomorrow. Lauren Brett DeWitt. If the Vikings win, I see them flexing the game. I agree with that. If they feel like the Vikings are going to win, I'm going to assume they're going to go for that. But again, I don't know their other considerations for it. Pat, what your record so far in basketball? We are 5-1. We lost one game by 1 point. JDC getting real in the D. Go Lions, 100%, my friend. Brett, my thoughts also, Lauren. Derek, let's see, we had a lead against them at halftime for the NFC game. Don't let up until it's in the bag. 100%. Yeah, there's about 1 second left on the clock. I'll let you take your foot off the gas. Lauren, Niners kneecaps for lunch tomorrow. Let's go and do that. Detroit, Dr. Detroit, tell me Hutch and Aleem will be back for the playoffs. Laughing out loud. Aleem, definitely not. Hutch, who knows, man? I still think that there's some potential he could be back for the NFC title game or something like that. Now, we'll have to wait and find out. If they do start his 21-day window next week, then yeah, that's probably a strong indication they think he's going to be back. If they do it, if the Lions get the first round bye and they start it that week, also still holds true. If they don't do it by the time the first playoff game happens, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen then. Pat, 49ers still have pride, plus they are playing at home Monday night, so it's not going to be a blowout, but I hope. So, I'll go with that. I hope today they blow them out too. Let's see, Doug, how could a logical person not root for Green Bay? We'll find out. Detroit D, I believe MCDC will try and make a statement in this game. I like the way you're thinking, 100%. Dr. Detroit, skip Green Bay. We will be postponed 1 week, all right? It will be postponed 1 week. Lauren, I'm not rooting for Green Bay. I'm rooting against the Vikings. That's where I'm going with it. A Stoner's perspective, refs will help Vikings beat the Packers. NFL's narrative in play. Could be true. Could definitely be true. The only thing you can do if you're a Packer then, it's just outplay the refs. Doug, I know MCDC will try to make a statement this game. Probably also true. Miles Parker, my best friend, lives in St. Paul. The trash talk has begun. Good for them. J-Rod, Dan the man, exclamation points. Thank you for that. Coach and Duke Crew, good morning. Greetings and salutations. Same to you, my friend. Rob, NFC North and the AL Central, something in the Midwestern weather this season. All right. Philippines, I want a first-round bye because it's one less game we have to worry about winning and getting guys hurt. Very true on both points there. Dr. Detroit, Stafford. Phil, what kind of bonuses are they given for winning? Does each level increase payouts? So you do get paid in the playoffs for the victories. How much they are, I don't know. I don't think it's a ton, though. Not like their regular contracts. Kurt, agreed. POD, all right. Jared, there is zero logic in wanting the 5 seed. The NFL reseeds every round. If you're the 5 seed and win, you're probably getting a road game against the number 1 seed. That's also true. Very good point there, Jay. Dr. Troy, I just want the first round bye because we never have had it. All right? Nothing wrong with that at all. Phil, 3 of the top 6 NFC teams come from our division. You're correct. The NFC North, probably for the foreseeable future, is going to be a very, very strong division. Rolling Mate, I want that number 1 seed. Let's have other teams in NFC beat up on each other for a bit. I like the way you're thinking. JDC, I am stuck between a rock and a hard place. I will stay mute on the Cheddar Vikings game. Go Lions. Hey, we'll be all glued to our TVs or whatever watching it later today. Pat, I don't want them to play the Rams in the playoffs. He has great wide receivers, plus I don't want to see his wife. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think all Lions fans are kind of over. It's no disrespect to Stafford. It's just we've seen it so much in a season or a little over a season. It's just kind of getting old. Dr. Detroit, yeah, for sure. I want Kelly to get dusted in the first round. We'll see what happens. Bergstein, I want home field advantage. Ford Field was so loud during playoffs. It will definitely be an advantage. I have no voice for 2 weeks after the Tampa Bay game, but I felt Rams game was louder. Okay, true. Could be. Let's see, Doug, keep our offense healthy. Yes, let's do that. Mark, with a win Monday, Vikings lost today. The Vikings will not have a reason to win and could rest players also. That's a great point. If your scenario holds out, then maybe against Detroit, they're just trying to rest guys. That's kind of like their first round bye in the playoffs. So you could be spot on with that, man. Bird time. I agree, Dr. Detroit. I'm over them. Yeah, I think most of us are. Mr. Fusion, good morning, Dan. I am going to be singing and praying my ukulele with the Song of September by Earth and Fire, and I will be on the show on America's Got Talent on February 21st, 2025. Hey, keep reminding us of it, man, because I'll be tuning in to cheering on. Jay-Z, Toy Panther goes through January 6th. Green Bay wins tonight. Let's hope so. It's the Silver Surfer coach. I was not thrilled by the Broderick Martin pick last year, especially trading up. What do you think? A question mark. Will he get another year to be or train stop at the end of the season? I think, yeah, he'll keep developing. Again, not that you can always use the past results as future results, but there are other Lions who didn't do well their first, second year. I remember Darius Slay. A lot of people were calling him a bust after his second season, but now he might be borderline Hall of Fame. Everybody has different paths. Some guys come out right as rain right away. Other guys, it takes some time. JDC refused to lose. I like it. Rob, the Lions will handle business either way, but all home games throughout the playoffs will bring a lot more money to local businesses. You're not wrong there. It would be an economic boom. I want to say, don't hold me to this because I'm going off a year's worth of memory, but I want to say the 2 playoff games last year brought in like nearly $30 million to Greater Detroit, so it was a big win for the city. Pat, Gamble Dan playing everyone both games, I believe, but I don't want him to. Okay. Roland, none of the schedule is set for next weekend. All games are TBD, so there are no Monday night games week 18. Yeah, I don't think there would be a Monday night game next week, but maybe I'm wrong. The Stoners, wild card, 50,000 divisional round, 50,500 conference championship, 73,000 Super Bowl winning team, 164,000 Super Bowl losing team, winning team, and then the losing team gets 89,000. Phil, how can we keep Broderick Martin? Wasn't he a third round pick? Bust or patience? Patience, man. I mean, you go through most NFL teams, most guys, not all of them, but most of them, it does take a couple seasons to get ready. Again, use Ife Melifanu. Everybody loves him now, but people are calling for him to be cut his first year and then his second year, and he's not the only one. That you can go through the current Lions team. Taylor Decker didn't have a particularly great rookie or sophomore season and then came around. And again, you can go through a lot of different guys that use those examples. Jameer, first seed, let's go Lions. I'll go with that. Go Detroit. How about that? Silver Surfer, I thought there was no Monday night the last week of the season. I think that's true, but don't hold me to it. JDC, Dre Ford's rocks, and he rolls. Steve, we assume that the fifth seed will play Atlanta. They haven't locked that down yet. Correct. I see Tampa Bay being the fifth seed. Will travel too. Okay. Doug, exactly. The league doesn't not schedule Monday night in Week 18, but Minnesota versus Lions would be one, or maybe Denver, KC for Denver shot. It could be that too. Los Angeles, good to see you, man. It's been a minute. The NFL is not going to let Green Bay Packers win. The NFL is going to want the Vikings to win, so there's a big game next week. That could be true. I mean, it is a business after all. Let's not forget that. Doug, on Sunday Night Football. Correct. Southwest, I'm rooting for that number one seed people keep talking about. Russ, but who about Fresh on Sharp? Bowling the doors off people on only 2 games till the Super Bowl. This is all true. It's the Philippines. Campbell told their punter he won't have to punt much this season. They punted 76 times so far. I think they average like 5 a game. Is that a lot? Ha ha ha. Yeah, I did see something about that yesterday, and yeah, it's I get want to be confident, and unfortunately, it didn't work out for Caleb Williams. Doug, if Green Bay wins, they can save some of our schemes for the playoffs. Not a winner take all for the North. I'll go with that. Derek, what's the name of the show, and where is it on, Lauren? Let's find out. I know he put it in yesterday. I'm sure he'll put it up there. Mosmar, Mr. Nico, hey, nice to see you, bro. Yeah, good to see you, Mr. Nico. It's been a minute. Let's see, Derek. Let's see me, Lauren. Derek Lewis, Michigan Panther Pride on YouTube, making my second video hopefully tonight. Oh, get her done, my friend. Get her done. Frank, the tank. Detroit Lions need number one seed. That's why they've been playing for all year to not pick up and choose who you want to play against. Go Lions. Woo! I'll take that. See, Phil, with Bridgewater here, could Hooker see some action on other position? If you feel like he'd be good at another position, I have no idea if he can play other spots. Frank, think the players we got on the roster right now are going to be the players that are going to win the Super Bowl. Go Lions, 100%. Yes, let's get it done this year. Hookadoo, laughing out loud. What did they say about me, Lauren? I could care less what his opinions are of me. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Lauren, I don't remember fully. He said something like you stay under Captain Click's Bates channel. I'd imagine he was talking about Coach Dan, so I just deleted it. Yeah, it could be, man. I have no idea. Let's see, Derek. I just subscribe to it and hit the like button. I'll be watching, Lauren. Thank you for that, Derek. Tommy, let's go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Miles Barrett, Iffy being back makes me glad because he can play across the field if needed be. Yeah, 100%. Lauren, Derek Lewis, thank you, sir, very much. Much appreciated. Keith, green salutations, my friend. Back at you, Keith. John W., if he has the speed to run down, he does, man, and blitz. Let's see, Derek, he said Targeted and I had an acid flashback. Okay. Keith, go, Pack, go. Woo! I'll go with that. Let's see, Southwest, here's something I think about with injuries. Do you think our defense is better than last year? I'd say better than last year, so we are just fine. Overall, I would say yes. Currently, even as beat up as we are, it's still better than last year. In some ways maybe not as much, but it's the defense you're going to have for the postseason. See, Rob, Derek, laughing out, watching. That's incredible. David, let's just keep it simple. Give me a Green Bay win and a Lions win them all. I like the way you're thinking. Keep it easy. Let's get that number one seed. Rob, laughing out loud. No game is easier. That could be true. Derek, Rob, exactly. David, with Enos Ragshaw, be back soon. I'm surprised he hasn't been reactivated because he's cleared the mandatory time required on IR. So there's got to be a reason why they don't have him out there. What that reason is, man, I'm not sure. Keith, Lions 42-20. Rob, Ben Johnson will be efforting Gibbs, J-Mo, Goff, and a few others, each some numbers for their year contracts. Yeah, he might be trying to help some guys hit some milestones for sure, if the situation arises and it doesn't impact the game. Philippines, hope I'm wrong, but I think the Vikings exploit the Packers' banged up secondary. Probably going to be true. Let's see, Motown, Lions rule, Bears rule. Lions kill Niners 52-3. I'll take that. Michael, did raising your hand? Yes, 16-1 after week 3 is a whole lot better than people saying 9-8 before the season started. Laughing out loud, I'll go with that. Jason, Superdome or bust. Jason, go Pack, go. A lot of people doing that today. Southwest, I don't care how much we want Green Bay to win. Don't ever say go in the chat. Fair enough. Fair enough. Rob, I still think the refs will play a big role in the Vikings-Packers. NFL wants that NFC North showdown. Packers best dominate and be penalty cautious. Yes, they're going to watch out. Derek, a tie would create a yes, it would create that. Doug, I don't think Rakestraw is in the plans for much this year. Stage is too big for someone just a rookie, and AJ doesn't play a lot of rookies unless it really desperate times. Yeah, probably true. Could be 100% on that. Motown, I believe Vikings Sam Darnold gets exposed today by seeing ghosts. Maybe he does. Rob, if they tie, it's one less win for both teams. It's not a loss, but would count more. Okay, W's count more. Yes, they do. JDC, go Lions. Lauren, with a Green Bay, Minnesota tie and the Vikings and a Lions loss, we dropped the 5th seed. Okay, fair enough. Lauren, with BG and Minnesota, Green Bay and Minnesota tie. Yeah, okay, we got it. Rob, Campbell will never pass waivers to get to Detroit. Vikings won't allow that. Might be true. And it just comes down to, hey, Campbell says, I'm not playing for you. JDC, Derek Lewis wasn't clear in the Cavalry. Could be. I think he was JDC. JDC, smiling, thumbs up. Martin, question marks. AG does not trust certain players, especially waiting on a head coaching job. This is his job interview. Might be true. Keith, would it make sense to sign Odell Beckham? I don't know, man. I mean, I my personal opinion, he's not the guy he once was, but I also don't know who you would boot off the team to bring him in. I'll leave that to them. Miles Martin, good to see you, Big D. Lionel, that hasn't been a tie since 12/04/22. Okay. Big D, Miles Martin, thank you. Glad to be back. Glad to have you back. Philippines, if they do flex the Lions-Vikings game, it could benefit us because it gives us more time to rest after Monday night. Every little bit helps. No, you're not wrong, man. It wouldn't be a full week, but yeah, if we play late Sunday, it's as close as you're going to be. Rob, I'll root for whoever I please. There you go. Let's see, JDC, 2.5 sacks for Z Factor. I would woo for that. All right, we'll get wood. Let's see, a couple more here, and then about time for me to wrap up. So let me try to power through here. Doug, Hutch could play ready, but I don't think see him playing at his typical level for a lot of weeks. You forget how insane he was. No, he was playing very, very well before the injury. Jason, my Vikings buddy here in Minnesota are still waiting for those shoes to drop. Okay, they know we are better. All right, we'll go with that. Chan, number 1 seed. Dan, thanks, Coach. Go Pride, 100%. I'll go with that. Miles Meyer, Mr. Fusion Maz, that was an amazing opportunity and hard to get. Congrats and break a leg. Yeah, we'll go with that. Independent. Wow, my first time chatting you live. Oli Bird, question mark, serious question. Did owner Sheila actually say woo in your clip, or was that you editing, having creative fun? No, that's actually her saying woo. I think that's at Minnesota last year when we wrap up the division. She comes out of the elevator or whatever, talk to Dan Miller. That's totally her. And I don't remember where I got it. Maybe one of you guys sent it to me. Stoner Martin is our secret weapon for the playoffs. Could be just that. Independent Philippines on demand. Someone said that Caleb was joking to the punter, so I asked for video proof that it was a joke instead of serious. The claimer tried to gaslight me. Yeah, I mean, it happens, man. I mean, people get in their feelings, man. JDC, happy trails, go Lions victory. We'll see you next time. Giovanni, I'm worried about round 2 for the Lions. Hey, one thing at a time. Walt, good morning, Coach and Duke crew. Woo, back at you. Philippines, go figure. Exclamation point. I'm glad the Bears got it handled to them. They always run their mouths. Yes, they do. Rake Straw is James Houston. AG choice. Might be true. Walt, congrats, Coach and Jen. Woo! And thanks for that. J-Rod, again, congratulations, Coach, to you and Jen. Awesome news, sir. Thank you very much for that. Bo, happy trails, Duke crew. All done and dusted for another Sunday. See you tomorrow. We'll see you then. Brent, happy trails, one prime. Go enjoy your day. Keith, Lions win 42-17. I would take that big time. Philippine, Hutch will eventually break Al Bubba Baker's single-season sack record. Let's hope so. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Also, as you're checking out, if you would be so kind, hit that thumbs up button, that like button. Otherwise, if there's breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be a good human being. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. See you on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody. You're still here?
What are you doing here? It's over. The show's over. Go home.